PPG Sports presents the 1988 5A High School State Championship Final. It's the Converse Judson Rockets versus the Dallas Carter Cowboys. We're live from Irving, Texas Stadium. Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Murray, and alongside me, a gentleman that certainly needs no introduction, probably has caught as many passes at this famed stadium as anyone in the history of the game, the former wide receiver of the Dallas Cowboys, number 88, Drew Pearson. Drew, you know, you look back over 5 weeks' time, you had 64 teams coming into the 5A playoffs throughout the Lone Star State, and now some 5 weeks later, we're down to the final 2.
And Scott, the final 2 that are playing here today, no one expected these 2 teams to be in the 5A championship game. With the Judson Rockets, they rely heavily on their defense. They started the season out slow. They lost their second game, but rolled right through the regular season, the rest of the regular season, and through the playoffs. And they definitely a team that should be here. And of course, Carter Cowboys have overcome a lot of adversity off the field, but on the field, they have one good football team.
They have played very well. Of course, 3 of their 5 playoff games they have come back to win in the 4th and final quarter. But as Drew alludes to, lots of controversy in the courts off the field. And with more on that, standing by on the sidelines is Chris Fowler.
Yeah, thanks very much, Scott. You're right. Winning the games on the field has almost been secondary with all the controversy off the field. Now, the controversy began 1 month ago when the state education commissioner ruled that Gary Edwards, a defensive back on Carter, was ineligible to play under the no pass, no play rules because he failed an algebra class. Now, Carter claims that the original grade in the class was a miscalculation, that Edwards had not failed the class and that he should have been eligible. Now, in the last month, it has been a battle in the courtroom and in the headlines. The TEA has tried to block Carter's participation in the playoffs. Carter got a court order in a district court in Austin, which overturned that, allowing them to continue. The TEA appealed, and that appeal was overturned 1 day before the semifinal win over Odessa Permian. Now, the case will be taken up again in March. It is possible, officials say, that should Carter win this game, they could still be stripped of the title. But they're not worried about that this week. This is the first week they've been able to concentrate just on football and not all the off-the-field stuff. Back up to Scott and Drew.
Next up this afternoon, we'll take a look at how Dallas Carter and Converse Judson got to the championship right after this.
Pepsi is offering a special $5 rebate with the purchase of an ET video and Pepsi.
To do this, you have to be able to make it on your own. To make it off the ground, you need the whole team behind you. Aim high, Air Force.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium. Now, in looking at this final matchup, Converse Judson definitely the Cinderella team. They were in no one's preseason top 10. The media has dubbed them the little team that could. Let's take a look at their road to the finals. They've had 4 shutouts in the playoffs, a total of 9 in the season. Just amazing. They've had bad luck with the coin toss. They've had to go on the road to Corpus Christi to beat Carroll, and down to the Astrodome last week to beat Houston Stratford in the semifinal. Here's a look at the road to the final from the Converse Judson point of view.
1983, the San Antonio Converse Judson Rockets shocked the state of Texas when knocking off Midland Lee, a perennial schoolboy power, 25-21, claiming their first ever state 5A championship. The hero of the now classic showdown, Judson's Chris Pryor, a punishing running back who rewrote the record books. 1988, a 5-year absence, but Judson's back to reclaim the title crown they once owned. This time, there's no Chris Pryor. It's a club built of underclassmen, hungry underclassmen. Like in '83, Judson enters the championship as the underdog against a high-powered Dallas Carter squad.
We don't have one particular star on the team. The strength of the ball club right now is they're playing as a team, and that's been their strength all year. I think they've improved each ball game. They've gotten better each ball game. To start out the year, we weren't a state caliber ball club, but I think as we went into the playoffs, we were playing like a state caliber ball club, and have even improved through the playoffs, and hopefully we're going to play our best game against Dallas Carter.
For the record, in the decade of the 80s, Judson's no stranger to postseason action. The Rockets have blasted into the playoffs the past 7 straight seasons. It's no secret that south of Houston, the road to the championship goes through Converse Judson.
Yeah, the kids have worked hard, and we're blessed with a lot of talent at Judson, and the things have fallen together for us. We've got a coaching staff that works real hard and real good community support, and we've been blessed to be in the playoffs for 7 years now, and I think it's a tribute to our kids.
Judson Rockets, 14-1 overall this season, steamrolled into the playoff, knocking off San Antonio Jefferson, Alice, San Antonio Clark, Corpus Christi Carroll, and Houston Stratford. Defying the odds makers, San Antonio's Converse Judson finds itself in the Texas State Championship against Dallas Carter. For Judson in '88, a storybook season with only one chapter remaining.
The Rockets of Converse Judson looking for their second 5A title in the last 5 years. The road to the finals continues with a look at Dallas Carter in just a moment.
You've seen Ford do this for years, but now there's a big new Chevy with enough power to not only haul tons of trucks up this mountain, but also tow away the entire mountain. The advanced full-size Chevy. No wonder when it comes to pickups, America's having a change of heart.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Performance. It counts on the playing fields, be it the football team or the marching band, and in the classroom. By sponsoring educational competitions ranging from marching band to calculator applications to basketball, the University Interscholastic League has helped Texas public school students develop and refine skills that will serve them a lifetime. Support these outstanding young men and women in your community by attending school activities. These students are our leaders of tomorrow.
If Converse Judson has the role of Cinderella in this final, then Carter has to be considered the favorite. They were in some preseason top 10 polls. They were certainly not the favorite, but after Sugar Land Willow Ridge got knocked off, people started to look at Carter as maybe the best surviving team. Here's their road to the finals. Notice the easy time until that game against Marshall. In that game, they needed a touchdown pass with 3 seconds left to Jesse Armstead, a linebacker of all people. Then there's the semifinal win over Odessa Permian in the rain last week in Austin. Here's a look at the Carter Cowboys' road to the finals.
Ask Freddie James to talk about the last 5 weeks, and you'll get an earful.
I could write a book about the hardship that we've had, and the kids just kept their head up, and they fought against all odds to try to get this far.
The hardship started just before the Cowboys' first playoff game against Plano East.
We didn't know whether or not we were going to play. And so Friday we was all dressed, ready to go out on the field. Then we get the message that we're not going to play.
But the Cowboys did play, rolling over Plano East 21-7 and taking the first step towards their dream, the state 5A title. Samuel was next on the list.
We got to the state and we didn't know whether or not we were going to play or not. And so when we hit the field, thought we were prepared to play, we were not. And so the kids head was down, the coach's head was down. We didn't know what was going on.
Maybe not for the first half. It ended in a scoreless tie, but the Cowboys made the necessary adjustments and scored all their points after the intermission, shutting out Samuel 28-0. Next up, Lufkin, and the Cowboys were very businesslike.
We went out there to really win the ball game because that 1 week we was free with no distraction. And the kid made up their mind, we're going out here and try to get this score out of the way quick before somebody called us at halftime and said we're not going to play here.
That didn't happen, but the Cowboys came out throwing. Quarterback Robert Hall had a terrific game. The final tally, Cowboys 31, Lufkin 7. Marshall was next for the Cowboys.
We figured we better get 2 up at least, get 3 if possible, because Marshall, with looking at the film of Marshall, the games they have played, they're a team that can come from behind, and they proved it.
But this game, it was the Cowboys' turn to prove they, too, could come from behind. With Marshall leading in the final seconds, All-American linebacker Jesse Armstead made the game-winning catch. Carter had done it again, coming from behind to win 22-18. Odessa Permian and their Mojo Magic was next for the Cowboys. And, of course, they prevailed. They beat the Panthers 14-9 in a driving Austin rain. 5 games down, 1 to go. And this is the one the Cowboys want more than anything.
This is a goal that all of us have tried to achieve. And we finally made it. As I always said, we have a foot in the door. Only thing we need to do now is kick that door in and go and win that final ball game.
The way they've been going, who'd bet against them? This is Tom Murray reporting.
Freddie James looking for the top prize here at Texas Stadium this afternoon. He has been at Carter since 1982, a very impressive 72-11-4 record. But Drew, the rap throughout the years has been he has never been able to get the Cowboys to the state final. He's here today.
And he certainly is, and he's here with the excellent defense. That's probably the thing that these two teams have in common, Scott, is their defense ability. And what makes their defense so strong is their speed and quickness. Offensively, Judson Rockets is a running football team. They have rushed for over 4,000 yards this season. The Carter Cowboys are a more balanced offensive team. They have over 2,000 yards running the football as well as 2,000 yards passing the football.
Carter Cowboys, Judson Rockets. Who's your pick?
Well, Scott, I'm not going to go out on a limb and pick this one, but I feel that the defenses will dominate this football game, and it'll be a low-scoring defensive struggle.
Kickoff upcoming right here at Texas Stadium. We'll be back right after this.
Don't miss this big one-day art sale Sunday at the Marriott Hotel in Austin. Sofa-sized oil paintings as low as $19. Other oil paintings start at $10. Many of these beautiful hand-painted oils sell elsewhere for up to $400. Professional art at starving artist prices. Good selection of wood and gold frames at discount prices. See how economically you can decorate your home and office. Last sale of the year, just in time for Christmas giving. One day only, Sunday at the Marriott, I-35 North at Highway 290 in Austin. Credit cards and checks accepted, 11 to 5 Sunday.
Need extra money? Hi, I'm gold buyer James Lewis. Our customers tell us we paid them more for their used gold jewelry than anyone else in town. So if you could use some extra money, listen to this.
James Lewis is paying the best possible price for your gold right now. Men, that old school ring you'll never wear again is worth up to $110. Ladies, those unused and broken gold chains and bracelets are valuable.
Remember, we pay cash. So call us right now at 458-2639.
The 1988 5A High School State Championship Final is being brought to you by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. By the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevy truck, who invite you to test drive a 1989 Chevy pickup at your Chevrolet dealer. And by Whataburger, hot, fresh, and made to order. Welcome back to Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Scott Murray along with Drew Pearson and Chris Fowler on the sidelines throughout the better part of the day. They have just had the coin toss at the center of the field, and Carter 13-0-1 up against Judson 14-1. Judson has won the toss and elected to receive. Freddie James, the head coach at Carter since 1982. D.W. Rutledge, the head coach at Judson, which is located just outside of San Antonio, 1984. Game officials, referee Malone. Charlie Malone will call the shots. Umpire is Herb Norris. Head linesman G. Washington. The line judge is Doug Thomas. And the back judge this afternoon will be Robert Young. Last team to win a state championship from the DISD, the city of Dallas, was 1950, Sunset. So we're going back almost 4 decades to come up with that. Only appearance, of course, in a state final, December 1983. Judson a winner. They won the state title 5 years ago. At that time, their head coach presently, D.W. Rutledge, was the defensive coordinator, and he took over as the head coach the following year. As a matter of fact, was warned by TCU head coach Jim Wacker, be advised, that's a tough situation to be involved in, to take over a program that has just won a state championship, but he has done an outstanding job since then. We're underway. Carter kicks off. It'll go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and Judson will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Scott, you're going to see Judson come out. They're going to run the football. They like to line up offensively in the I formation. And there's their starting backs and receivers. And, of course, Mike Jenks, who usually alternates during the regular season with Tommy Ramey. But Ramey has been out with a deep thigh bruise, and there's a chance he might play. But Jenks will get the start as we look at the offensive line for the Judson Rockets.
1st and 10 Judson. They have the white jerseys with the red numerals. That's the fullback, Harrison, number 32 on the carry. He stands 5'10", 170-pounder. He's a senior. As we check the defensive lineup of the Carter Cowboys, Thomas, Tips, McInnes, Cherry, and Buckley. A couple of good linebackers. Armstead, the All-American. Savage alongside. And then the defensive backs. Edwards, the most famous algebra student in the state of Texas. All the controversy this year around Carter High School has centered around that young man. Pickup of maybe a yard.
Looks like the Judson Rockets are going to come out and be a little conservative and try not to create a turnover here. Carter defense, they like to fill a gap, Scott, and try to shoot the gaps with their speed and quickness. They're not really big. Judson is small in their offensive line, and Carter is in their defensive line, but Carter's defensive line is really not that big. They average about 200 pounds across the front line.
3rd and 7 for the Rockets. On the 20-30, they'll pass. It's complete. Stanzione, who's the leading receiver for the Rockets this year with 30 receptions on the season.
Judson doesn't like to throw the football that much, but when they do throw it, they're pretty effective. And when they do throw it also, they like to go to the number 84, Jeff Stanzione. And then on a sprint out type action, there's Stanzione. It's wide open and gets the first down. First down of the game, Scott.
By about a half a yard. So just across the 30, it'll be 1st and 10. Nothing doing. Armstead, the All-American from Carter, on the tackle. They've got 2 back there. Eric Evans, of course, the other All-American. 2nd and 11. They give him a loss of a yard in the last play. In motion to Stanzione. Rolling to the left. He's in trouble, and he's brought down back inside the 25. Savage. Nathaniel Savage on the stop for Carter. Carter has allowed only 105 points this year as we take a look at the replay.
Scott, the strength of Carter's defense is their speed, and they like teams to run outside because that means they have to funnel. They try to funnel everything back to the inside, and that's where they like to have their main man, Jesse Armstead, come into play, make the tackles, and he does the job there. And that's
3rd and 17 on the draw. Gets back just across the original line of scrimmage. That's Vincent Kyle. On the season, 162 yards, or rushes, I should say, 950 yards. 3 backs in that backfield. He was the only one to be under 1,000 yards on the year. Kyle Arnell, who has been the sophomore sensation, he does not start, but we'll likely see a good part of him this afternoon. Deep punt formation. The left footer lets it go. Across the 45. Marcus Grant And the Carter Cowboys, for the first time this afternoon, will take over offensively at their own 47. We'll be right back with more football right after this.
That's it.
It's over. We have nothing in common.
We never agreed on one thing. Ever.
Great. I need to find someone
More like me.
When you find something you have so much in common with, something so exciting, so refreshing,
Hi.
you just can't stop yourself from grabbing it and holding on to it forever. For the great taste of Pepsi without caffeine, try caffeine-free Pepsi.
The versatile Chevy S10 Blazer. The perfect vehicle for people who like to do everything. With a new available 4.3-liter Vortec engine, the Chevy S10 Blazer gives you the most V6 power in its class and the most fun in any class.
Through the heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
Santa introduces the perfect $5 Christmas gift.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, nice cut, Mr. President.
Whataburger gift certificates, the perfect $5 Christmas gift. And as an added $5 value, receive coupons for a free Whataburger, Whata Chicken, and 2 taquitos with each booklet purchased. Happy holidays.
1988 has been indeed a good year defensively. You see the stats of Judson. 110 yards per game is what they have allowed rushing. They are awfully tough up front. 1st and 10 for Carter at their own 47. They'll set the backfield momentarily. Robert Hall going to go up top right off the bat. Unbelievable. Freddie James said he was going to come out throwing. He wanted to get on top early. We've got a man down, and it's the quarterback, Robert Hall.
Judson was putting pressure on Robert Hall on that particular play, and he took a good shot, and that's going to put make a major problem for the Carter Cowboys, because Hall is a big part of their offense and what they like to do. The backup quarterback is Brian Mitchell. He's a junior. You can see here on the replay the pressure there. He gets sandwiched by 2 Judson players. And that's probably why that ball was a little overthrown.
With Robert Hall down on the field, we'll take a brief timeout. We'll be right back.
It was like a bad dream. I was injured in an accident, and it wasn't my fault. The doctor said I couldn't do my kind of work ever again. How would I take care of my family? Now I've got to build a new career.
If you've been injured, don't take any chances. Call Noyes and Cablau. We'll do everything possible to get you the money you deserve. Our fees come from money we collect for you. Call Noyes and Cablau at 441-8822.
Open wider now, a little wider.
At Horizon Dental Centers, when we say open wide, we don't mean your wallet. You'll be surprised at the savings. Just compare our prices. From simple cleanings and fillings to crowns and bridge work, Horizon Dental Centers can meet virtually all your dental needs at substantial savings and do it with quality, professional service. Horizon Dental Centers. We make family dentistry affordable.
What's the #1 sandwich maker up to? Designing a new Subway sub?
No, I'm planning a Subway sale, and you better start baking.
Hot bread coming through.
We bake 'em fresh. We make 'em fresh. Everybody loves Subway.
Try our 3 hot sandwiches, meatball, steak and cheese, and new barbecue. They're hot, hot, hot.
Down to Chris Fowler as soon as we can and find out exactly how he is doing. In the meantime, Brian Mitchell has checked in at quarterback for Carter. He's a junior, stands about 6 feet. He's 180 pounds. And you see from the stats on your screen, he has not played very much at all. Has attempted only 19 passes all season and throws this one up. It's deflected as it was hit, and it's picked off by number 25, Judson. Just as he released the ball, he was hit, and the ball wobbled up in the air, and number 25 senior was there to make the interception.
Tough break for the young Mitchell coming in a tough situation. He was hit on the play, and the ball just kind of floated up there, and Senna was able to make the reception. There's the number 56, Garcia, who is the main man in Judson's defense, and he just throws it up for grabs, and Marcus Grant comes back, turns into a tackler on the play.
Back to live action, 1st and 10. And a pickup of about 4 or 5. Kevin Harrison has been the workhorse early here in the ball game. In motion is Silva. The give again to Harrison around the right side. And he's brought down after a gain of maybe a yard at the most.
With Carter's speed, there's no way they're going to run outside. That's Carter's strength, is their defense to the outside, stringing the play out and trying to funnel the play back into the inside so that their All-American linebacker, Jesse Armstead, can make the play.
He's number 46 in red. You'll see plenty of him this afternoon. 3rd down, 5 from the 47. Give is to the fullback, number 33. Check it. It's Vincent Kyle, number 33. And he has another 1st down.
Scott, that's what you're going to see mostly in 3rd down situations, either the sprint out pass or the sprint out draw, and that's what we see right there as Vincent Kyle spins, but he comes up a little short for the 1st down.
It looks like he's going to be a little short. Let's go down to the sidelines right now and check in with Chris Fowler.
Okay, fellas, Robert Hall, the Carter quarterback, appears to be okay. You see him here about ready to put his helmet back on. Trainers had wrapped a towel over his head, and he was very groggy after taking that hit. Coach Freddie James came over, got in his face, says, Robert, you have to get yourself together and go back in there. Fellas.
All right, Chris, thank you much. So on the next defensive series, we'll likely see Robert Hall back in the lineup for Carter. It is close enough that they will measure. From our advantage point, it looked as though it was just to be enough. But they'll measure it and see if it brings up 4th down or... about a half a yard short. So Converse Judson will likely punt.
I guess a lot of people saying, why don't they go for it in this situation? But it's still early in the football game, and with a punt here, hopefully Judson will back up the Carter Cowboys into their own territory and eventually hold them, and that will in turn give the Rockets some good field position as they try to start another series.
Bobby Borfall, the left footer. It's a high punt, but it doesn't go very far. It'll bounce on about the 20. Takes a Judson roll, and it'll be down at about the 15-yard line of Carter. Well, they will take over for the 2nd time this afternoon offensively. We'll be back with more football right after this timeout.
Pepsi is offering a special $5 rebate with the purchase of an ET video and Pepsi.
Every new Chevrolet Corsica is protected by a 3-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper plus warranty. Because we know when you've got a family, you don't need anything else to worry about.
The heartbeat of America.
That's today's Chevrolet. Not only has the new fuel-injected Chevrolet Corsica LT helped bring down the cost of performance, it's also been designed to handle something many sports sedans can't: your family.
Santa introduces the perfect $5 Christmas gift.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you very much. How nice, Mr. President.
Whataburger gift certificates, the perfect $5 Christmas gift. And as an added $5 value, receive coupons for a free Whataburger, Whatachicken, and 2 taquitos with each booklet purchased. Happy holidays.
Brian Mitchell had checked in to get things started here at quarterback for Carter, but Robert Hall has just come back into the ballgame as we look at the running backs and receivers for the Carter Cowboys. The offensive line: Owens, Oliver, Smith, Birch, and Dillard. 1st and 10 from the 15. Grant in motion from the eye. Give us to the second man through and nothing doing.
Scott, that's Carter's first running play, and you can see it's going to be tough running the football against this Justin Rocket defense. Their nose tackle, Mike Garcia, is their leading tackler, and when he gets going, he's tough to move in there. They don't like to really penetrate. They sit and they catch their blocks and they read, but that time 56 does get some penetration. You can see the pursuit of the Justin Rocket defense.
Tackle is made by Mike Hendricks. 2nd and 10 from the 15. Grant again in motion. Play action. Across the middle, he's got a receiver. Jones across middle field. And finally tackled by Mike Hendricks. David Jones.
Scott, David Jones caught the winning touchdown pass last week against Odessa Permian. And here he is, a good receiver coming out the backfield. And again, it shows the versatility of the Carter Cowboy offense. You see Hall there with the good play-action pass, has a lot of time. And he throws it downfield as we pick up Jones there on the replay. And Jones definitely knows what to do once he gets that ball in his hands. It gives Carter Cowboys field position in Justin Rockets territory.
1st and 10 from the 42. They'll pass again, and again it'll be Jones on the receiving end. He breaks one tackle. He could go all the way. Finally brought down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for Carter.
Cowboys will give you a lot of mixed direction. He'll get you going one way, then come back the other way on the bootleg. And Hall is a master at handling that ball in the bootleg situation. And the Justin Rockets are going to have to find out where that football is. If they keep letting the strength of David Jones get outside, you can see he's a tough man to bring down. Takes it all the way inside the 10, about the 9-yard line.
Joe Sano with a saving tackle for Judson, where it'll be 1st and 10 from the 7. 1st and goal from the 7. 4 wide receivers. Pitch back and a fumble on the play, and it looks like Judson might have it. Robert Reed was the first man to touch the ball. He's got the football, and Judson will take over.
On this play, Scott, they tried to come outside, use their speed to go outside, and it was just knocked away. Robert Hall on a pitch out here. He'll go down the line and pitch it out to Gary Edwards, and it just goes off his shoulder pads right into the Judson Rocket player's hands.
We'll be back with more right after this brief timeout.
Pack Transmissions presents the Gold Star Lifetime Warranty Transmission, rebuilt to factory new specifications. Pack Transmissions offers a new Gold Star transmission installed for only $249. Free towing, free inspection, and easy qualifying instant credit is available on major repairs. Pack Transmission will reseal your leaking transmission for just $79.95. Pack Transmission on I-35 between Breaker and Runberg. Call 837-8073 and run with the Pack.
I eat sausage with onions with your president, and my wife is telling me get lorsky. So, I take a Clorette's.
Hello, my little babushka. Only Clarette's has Actazol with chlorophyll. Gets rid of bad breath fast.
When the burning, itching, and soreness of hemorrhoids flare up, Tux medicated pads give you soothing, cooling relief on contact. For hemorrhoid flare-up, get Tux from Park Davis.
Okay, you can see here from the ground level, the pitch out there, right off the shoulder pads of Gary Edwards. And number 47, Robert Reed, is there to make the recovery. That's 2 turnovers so far in this football game. You can see the turnovers right there on your set. Carter 2 turnovers, and that's why the score right now is 0-0. Judson's ball on their own 12.
We've got a new quarterback in there now, Tommy Ramey. He's the senior. As we told you earlier, Mike Jenks and Tommy Ramey have alternated series throughout the entire season. But Ramey had a deep left thigh bruise, so there was questions as to whether he would play at all or not today. But potentially brings up the situation where he might miss his final high school football game. He said no go. So he's in there now after a pickup of 2. It's 2nd and 8 from the 14 now for Judson. Number 32, it's Kevin Harrison on the carry and brought down by Derek Evans. Evans is the other Parade Magazine All-America in that Carter defensive scheme. As you check the numbers on Tommy Ramey this year.
Excuse me, Scott. As we looked at the numbers on Ramey, he is the more experienced quarterback of the 2 alternating quarterbacks for the Judson Rockets.
Has not thrown an interception this year. 3rd and 6, passing situation. He's got time, and he gets it across the middle, but it looks as though it'll be short of a first down.
Scott, it's a good job by Ramey to get rid of the football, because there comes the blitz from the Carter defense, and he just gets it away, and he finds the fullback, Kevin Harrison, but Carter defense in pursuit. Number 22, Clifton Abraham, makes the tackle. Carter defense is very fast. They have 11 players who run 4.6 or 40, 4.6 40s or better in their defensive, with their defensive players.
So the 3rd punt of the afternoon now for Judson. Nice punt. Nice punt. Sends Grant way back at about the 35, and we've got our first flag of the day. Tackle was made by Mike Word as we wait for the official word on the flag.
Personal foul, Scott. Late hit. Marcus Grant went down. He got hit after he was down on the ground by one of the Judson players. So now the ball will be moved into Judson territory in good field position for the Carter Cowboys.
Let's get on to Chris Fowler.
Okay, fellas, the 2 early turnovers for Carter. You expect some mistakes in a state championship game. These guys are playing here in Texas Stadium. They're bound to be a little bit nervous. Although Carter seemed to be much the looser team in the preparations for this game. They were very relaxed yesterday at practice. At one point, 3 girls pulled up in a car, got out and started dancing, and the players were laughing and whistling at them before Coach James chased them off. But this is a very loose bunch in contrast to Judson that came into this game appearing to be a little bit tighter.
Scoreless ball game. 3:42 left in the first quarter. Intended receiver was Marcus Grant. Incomplete.
Scott, what the Carter Cowboys are doing offensively, they're coming out and putting 3 wide receivers on their right side. As we look at the Justin Rocket defensive line, the main man in that line is the nose guard, number 56, Mike Garcia. We look at their linebackers, led by Brent McCullum. And, of course, their defensive secondary. Stevens and Hendricks are sophomores, starting for the Justin Rockets.
2nd and 10. And again, they'll pass. And again, Marcus Grant, the intended receiver.
Scott, as I was saying, in the passing situations, or when when Carter wants to throw the ball, they're putting 3 wide receivers on one side, hoping to get, and leaving Marcus Grant on the other side, hoping to get man-to-man coverage, and that's what they're trying to test right now. As you see another shot on Robert Hall, they're going to have to start protecting Robert Hall. He's going to have a long afternoon here in Texas Stadium.
Head coach Freddie James looking for his Cowboys to do some good things this year. Wrap up indeed a very controversial season. Third time's a charm to Marcus Grant, but still short of a first down. Tackle made by Mike Wirt, the defensive end, on the right side.
I think in that situation, Coach Freddie James was thinking about using 2 plays on the third down play and using the fourth down play to try to get this first down. They're definitely going for it on fourth down with about a yard to go.
Fourth at about a yard. Single back. Here looks like Harvey Harper, number 6 in the plate, and a first down for Carter. Don't forget, at the conclusion of today's ball game, Drew and I will be selecting the most valuable player for this year's 5A championship game. The MVP is sponsored by Pepsi. Pepsi will present the school with $500 contribution to their general high school scholarship fund, as well as a plaque on his behalf. That's coming up immediately following today's ball game. First and 10, and they'll pass again. And again, the intended receiver is Marcus Grant. Joe Sena right on the coverage, but not before Grant picks up what should be enough for a first down.
Carter's strategy definitely is to try to get the ball to Grant early in his first quarter. And in the rain last week down in Austin against Odessa Permian, Carter surprised Permian by coming out throwing the football, but they are definitely coming out throwing it. They have the dry ground here today, and Marcus Grant is probably one of the best receivers in the state. He has had excellent games in the playoffs, catching 4 TDs, Scott.
Second and about a foot, and they've got the first down. Jones on the carry, and again Joe Sena on the coverage for Judson, but not before he picks up yet another first down.
Carter doing a nice job of mixing a little running game with the passing game, but again, the key, the lead play is going to be that passing game.
.129 left and counting in the first quarter of play here at Texas Stadium. Live coverage of the 5A final. No score. Carter with a first and 10 from the 24. And we've got whistles. I would imagine it'll be delay of game. That's the call. Carter took simply too much time. So they'll mark it off, and it'll be first and 15 now from the 29. Timeout, Converse Judson. You can see what Judson has done defensively, has held their opponents to 9 consecutive scoreless quarters coming into today's ball game, and with a minute 16 left here in the first quarter, that could hit double digits shortly.
Well, Scott, what they Justin defensive coaches, they must have seen something in what Carter was doing in that situation, and they called a timeout very quickly. Now he's got all his players on the sideline, all the defensive players on the sideline. You see all the defensive coaches trying to develop a new strategy here to try to combat that offensive set that the Carter Cowboys just came out in. 15
ball games this year. Judson has shut out 9 of its opponents. 10-7 in the playoffs since 1982, but have never advanced to the finals, and that, of course, is the Carter Cowboys. They were in the semifinals against another team from the Metroplex, LD Bell of Hearst, back in 1982. Bell defeated Carter in the semifinals, went on and then eventually lost down at the Astrodome in Houston in the finals. But as we said at the top of the program, one of the raps over the years on Freddie James, the head coach at Carter since 1982, has been his inability to get the Cowboys up during the course of the playoffs, and they always seem to be shut down early. But this year, through a great deal of adversity, controversy both on and off the football field, they find themselves here this afternoon in the 5A final.
Well, Scott, the last time the Carter Cowboys got deep into Judson Rocket territory, they fumbled the football, and then this time they're down in there and they had a penalty, so now we have a first and 15.
First and 15 from the 29. Jones in motion. Jones looking at the receiver. Across the 25, breaks 1-2 tackles and picks up the first down in the process. Nice second and third effort. Tackle eventually made by Mike Hendricks.
See, David Jones is a big back. He's only a junior, and he plays. He's really their backup fullback in their depth chart. But his rush for over 300 yards and has caught over 200 yards in passes. A good receiver coming out of the backfield. And then you see the strength. Boy, you're going to take one man. You're going to have to gang tackle David Jones to bring him down today.
David Jones, 3 receptions already this afternoon for close to 100 yards. They'll pass again. Marcus Grant, the intended receiver. Incomplete. Mike Hendricks on the coverage, but Mike Wirt was the one that forced the pass. Robert Hall had to let it go a little sooner than I think he would like to have.
Yeah, Marcus Grant was open on the play. He ran a corner pattern, Scott, but Mike Wirt was blitzing and put a lot of pressure on Robert Hall, and he had to let it go, and Marcus Grant just didn't see the football.
As a result, it's 3rd and 5 now from the 19. Single back is Anthony Allen, and they'll pass again. Across the middle to